Hey there guys, welcome back. Today I finally want to talk about the Armiger Moirax, and this video is going to be purely copium for me. I'm going to be trying to justify to myself why I like the Armiger Moirax and why I want to play it, and maybe someone else might agree with me. Maybe. So Armiger Moirax has a standard Armgier profile. We've got a 12-inch move, we are downgraded to T9 as of recently. We have a 3-up save in the open with a 5-up invuln for ranged only. Unlike other Mechanicus themed knights, we do not have the invuln for melee. We do have the upgraded 14 wounds, we have leadership 7 and OC 6 all for 150 points. We are 10 points more expensive than any other Armiger platform for the Imperial Knights. Like the other Imperial Knights, we have the code Chivalry to work with. You are probably picking the hit and wound reroll, but there is an argument to be made with the movement buff and the +1 to advance and charge, because there is a very strong melee build for the Moirax. The Moirax is defined by its unique rule called Protection Protocol. You can target this unit with Heroic Intervention Stratagem for 0 CP, and if you've already done so with another unit. Heroic Intervention is like a counter charge where if your opponent charges you, you're within 6 inches, you can charge him back, but you do not get the benefits of fight first, the charge bonus. But it does get you into combat. Of course, this rule means you probably want to have a good melee profile, and the Armiger Moirax has a very modular layout. So with its weapon options, you've got 2 arms, no carapace weapon this time, so you've got 2 weapons to pick from. You can have any combination of the Conversion Beam, Graviton Pulsar, the Lightning Lock, the Volkite, or the Siege Claw with the Rad Cleanser built in. So I've totally just ripped off Warhammer here because thank you guys, I'm not building the table for these. You naturally want to compare it to the Helverin and the Warglaive and see if you can make like a better or a niche variant of it, which is what most people would think anyway. So I think of the Helverin. It's got 2 guns, the 2 autocannons with 4 shots apiece at strength 9 AP 1 flat 3 damage. So I have 8 shots there. What in the Moirax profile can I do that would get me there? The Conversion Beam Cannon seemed like my first choice, where you strength 10 AP 2 flat 3 damage. I'm like, brilliant, it's slightly better strength, better AP. But we are half the range is 24. We use conversion to try and get the shot count up high enough. So you've got 1 shot, conversion is at half range and further away. So for this gun, you're working from 12 to 24 inches to try and get a conversion trigger on a 4-up, which then is random number of extra shots at D3. It's on a fixed amount. There's a lot of variables to try and get it to be the same number of shots as a Helverin. If you're running 2 of these, it's very swingy. The other option I always thought was the Volkite, where we're 36-inch range. It's a bit better, we're getting close, and we have fixed number of shots at 4 apiece, so we've got the same number of shots. But we're lower strength, no AP, and flat 2 damage, but we do have dev wounds. There is an argument to be made here where you could run it with the Knight Preceptor, where its quarry mechanic does transfer to its bondsman, and you can get full wound rerolls into a certain target, which makes dev wound farming pretty good. Especially if you had 3 of them, because that's 8 shots per Armiger Moirax, you could have 3 of them through bondsman, so that's 24 shots farming for dev wounds. It's stupid, but it's kinda cool. Then there's the Armiger Warglaive comparison. Nothing competes to its thermal spear and its melter gun on the roof. That's a hard deal to trade with, but its melee is where I think about a lot. So the Warglaive has a strike profile with 4 attacks, hitting on 3, strength 10, which is pretty good, AP 3, flat 3 damage. Great at busting up Terminators, Gravis armor, stuff like that, hard targets. Strength 10 does hit a bit of a wall into certain medium tier vehicles or bigger. It does get an extra attack from its own unique rules, going up to 5 on a charge. Whereas the Moirax has a Siege Claw, 4 attacks, hitting on the same 3, but we are strength 12 with flat AP 3, and the damage is D6 plus 2. That is an insane damage value. Your damage is anywhere from 3, so equal, up to a flat 8. Oh, you can chunk through enemy hard targets like nothing. That with an improved strength of 12 is huge. Strength 12 wounds other Imperial Knights and Chaos Knights on at least a 3 because everyone dropped down from T12 to T11. That is a big thing. But other hard targets like Land Raiders, stuff that are T12 floating around, you can wound them on 4s. And you do have the Rad Cleanser built in, which is not a bad deal. It is anti-infantry 2+, ignores cover, it's just an anti-infantry flamer. But you might kill off some chaff or weedies or something like that if they fail to save. So that melee profile is what I'm thinking about when I see the Moirax. Other options here, you have the Lightning Lock. You have a fixed number of shots at a good range of 36. Strength 8, no AP 1 damage, but Sus 2 is pretty juicy. 2 of these combined is 12 attacks with Sus 2. We can easily improve the AP in things like Castigator Knights can give you better AP and ignores cover. You can go into Gate Warden maybe, we can crit on 5s. There are options here with the Lightning Locks to make it a very scary, like spewing out a ton of shots. The other option, which I do like a lot and I do run in some games, is the Graviton Pulsar. It is only 24 inches, so it's mid-short range. D6 for a number of shots with blast, which is good and bad. Strength 7, AP 2, 2 damage, but it has an anti-vehicle 2+. So in most games I feel like I'm shooting into infantry or elite infantry, which are going to be below T7, so I'm winning them probably on 3s, or into vehicles where my anti-vehicle 2 triggers and I'm going to win them on 2s anyway. So I feel like a lot of the board state I can win on a 2 or a 3, provided I'm not shooting into monsters. So it's a little bit match dependent. The blast is a downside because I probably want to bring the siege claw and I can't shoot the blast weapon at point blank. So I've got to try and find a target off in the distance to shoot at. Bit of a nombo combo. Things that we can do to help the Moirax out. You do have the Dominus Knight giving you the extra bit of cover through the ion shields. Maybe good turn 1, but I'm probably bringing the Siege Claw on my Moirax, so he's going to be up and aggressive turn 1. He's out of range of the cover bonus. The Castigator is the one through its bond, which really gets me thinking, giving him sustained hits 1 and improved AP. Mainly the improved AP is what I'm thinking about. You can get those lightning locks up to AP 1. They've already got sus 2, so you keep that, that's the better option. Maybe you could put it on the Volkite, where you could get extra hits to hopefully get more dev wounds, and those dev wounds actually have AP now, or those attacks, sorry. So I do like the Castigator with the Moirax. The Knight Defender is just good, of course, in every army right now. He will give the Moirax cover turn 1 and maybe turn 2, but once he's out there into melee combat and his short range shooting, he's probably not getting help from the Defender anymore. But his -1 damage could be pretty handy to have, and he could brawl for way longer than he should. The Mentor is where it's kind of funny. That's the Knight Preceptor. The Mentor Bondsman gives you full wound reroll into the quarry target. So if you want to do the Volkite spam and try and find the dev wounds, you totally can. The Paladin is just made for him. Lethal hits, lance, no complaint here. The Gallant is a melee option as well, giving you reroll the charge and reroll melee hits after a charge. Not bad with a Moirax, and he can run up along with him. In a similar concept with Knight Lancer, that can give you advance and charge, meaning that Moirax can slingshot ahead hopefully. The detachments that we definitely think work with it would be, of course, the Armiger detachment spearhead-at-arms, where Armigers become battle line. You can run up to 6 of them, which is pretty fun. Bondsman is tripled out through the Big Knight, and there are multiple stratagems that just work here. I will mention first, enhancement Fables and Nightmare is really funny, I find. It gives a Armiger through the Big Knight precision on its melee, meaning your strength 12 AP 3 damage your D6 2 Moirax can charge into a target, get its precision in melee, where's enemy character, and just delete him out of the field. There are plenty of other good enhancements here in the detachment, and all the stratagems are pretty good. We've got Virtue of Courage, gives you +1 to hit in melee. Exemplar's Wisdom is improved AP if you're shooting the same target as the Big Dad did. This is great with, again, those lightning locks with maybe a Castigator buff on them to improve the AP even further. Now that's getting scary. There's a lot of attacks at high AP. Mantle the Mentor can let you fall back and shoot. Not as much with the Moirax, because I'm probably doing melee anyway. Thin their ranks is very funny with any Armiger, giving them rapid fire 1. Try and think what guns on the Moirax seem good with rapid fire. Again, lightning locks get an extra shot, maybe another sustained off that shot's pretty good. The Volkite is never a bad option, getting 10 shots per Moirax with rapid fire, because remember, each gun is independent, so you get rapid fire in each of them. Unfortunately, it does not work with the Conversion Beam, because Conversion Beam is over 12 inches in this case, where rapid fire would be under 12 inches. You can't get on the line and get both. Let Duty be your shield is just armor contempt for an Armiger. And Scry's Hunt is great, lets them walk off the board, come back in. That's good when you've got melee and short range weapons. Gate Warden is a natural fit as well. If you're just on the defensive line, you are having sustained hits 1 and you can ignore modifiers. Not a bad idea, especially too with strategies like Drive Them Out. You can crit on fires when you're fighting on the line. That just means things like your lightning locks look a lot better, or you can get extra hits in melee maybe. Lance Breaking makes it a little harder to fight them in melee, makes you -1 to wound if your strength coming onto the Moirax is bigger. Steadfast Purge, some rerolls. Martial Defense make them big quicker, stuff like that. Valor Strike is never a bad option either. It's a nice generalist, do everything detachment. Gives you assault on all your guns if you want. Run them through, just straight up have Lance, that strength 12 melee, +1 to wound on the charge. You're probably wounding every target on the game on a 2. So he's made to go for big targets in melee. Full Tilt makes him quicker. Tactical Foil can be really fun, but again, it's a bit swingy being random movement. But it gives you a reactive movement if someone finishes a move near you, which will help you set up that heroic intervention even better, hopefully. The other detachments like Questoris Forge Pack, Questoris Companions, they don't really work with the Moirax. They can be run with it, but there's no real fun winning combo there. So there's probably 3 detachments you look at and go, ooh, maybe. Alright, so have I convinced myself of running the Moirax yet? It's a very niche use. I feel his unique rule, Protection Protocol, wants you to get into melee because you're counter-charging. Thus, I need to bring the Siege Claw to have good melee. Otherwise, I'm not doing it with Armored Feet. It'd be dumb. So I've already locked in half my flexibility to have the Siege Claw. Unfortunately, there is no benefit to bringing 2 Siege Claws. I wish there was, because we don't have many Armigers to pick from. We're not like Chaos, we have many War Dogs. And I'm pretty sure one of the War Dogs said if you do double melee, you get like a bonus attack or stuff like that. Look at Space Marine Terminators. If you run double Lightning Claws, you get an extra attack in the profile or something like that. There's no benefit to going double melee, unfortunately. The weapons do not convert or are better than what we have on the other Armigers, so they kind of feel like a bit of a downgrade. The rule is far more niche because I don't feel myself I'm heroic intervention too much, because to get it, you have to have your Armiger hanging around a character to protect. Doesn't feel that great. Yeah, I'm just gonna say it's super niche. If you want to have some fun, give him the enhancement where you can give him precision and snipe out a character. That could be fun, catch people off guard. I really did have fun doing the re-rolling all the dev wins on the Volkite in one game. That was very funny. You can just stack so much uninteractable damage into a target. And the quantity of shots too, they will fail enough for the saves through the Volkite gun, they just take damage from it too. But like I was saying, I don't think so. I want to try, I want to cope so hard, I want to be good, but I just don't think we can ever make him good. If they redo his rule, maybe. If they get rid of her protection protocol, I think he could see play. Or if we make a buff to go double melee, sure. Yeah, I know it's a waffling video, I'm just coping, trying to make the Moirax fun, because we've only got 3 armors to pick from. Alright, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, give the video a like and a sub. Let me know below, have we tried to make the Armiger Moirax work before for yourselves? Alright, thank you for watching, and thank you to my patrons who direct support. I cannot thank you enough. I think that's it. Alright guys, see you later. Bye.
Блядь, ебать мой хуй.